there. All right, now I think it's going to my computer. We've got some very exciting things to show you. Things we have not shown you before. Marcus is back with us again for some more insane knowledge about generational wealth from dealerships, Turo, car, automotive leveraging, and the meaning of life. We are excited that we are almost to $1 million approved in funding for folks. And this week we're going to be talking about car dealerships. We're also tonight I'm going to be showing you some cold hard numbers on not just car dealership, but also the Shopify store and the Meta store. Some things that we haven't talked about, and some things just in terms of planning. If you can be disciplined, if you can not just spend all the money, but really have a plan for your dealership, for your Shopify store, for your Meta store, your Amazon store. Leveraging leverage to leverage. That's what we want. And that's how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, I'm sorry to say, who don't listen, who use their own cash, who don't understand that working at a job is not how you move forward. And we've gone on and on and on for months. We just realized we celebrated 4 months now of helping people get funded and opportunities, and up to $100,000 so easily. But the fundamental thing is, no matter how much money you get, whether you get a lottery, a great job, a great business, if you don't know what to do with the money, you will either lose it or just, it'll erode. And a lot of folks are just doing too many things. Like they've got their job, they got 2 jobs, they got 3 jobs, and they think, oh, I'm making good money. No, all you're really doing is making someone else good money. We got to find a way to get out of the rat race and get into the places where we get to live the life that we love. That is what we, Daz and I, and all of our affiliates, some of whom are with us here on the call, will be joining us in a bit. That's what we're all about, clap, clap. So we still have, I think the offer to get the real estate mastery training is completed. Congratulations for those of you who took advantage of that. It's still available, of course. Talk to your affiliate or whoever brought you to this call to get that link. But let's talk about passive income. And we've talked about this with respect to real estate. We've talked about it with respect to vending machines and those kinds of things. But it's been a while since we've talked about it in the context of joining us on the team. And there's some beautiful things that we can reveal now that we've been kind of working on in the background as God has been blessing us in our business and in our opportunities and what we have and the folks who we're working with. This is how it has been up until recently, and just kind of break it down for you. If you join us as what we call an affiliate, you get 1% on every affiliate that you bring in personally, your personal affiliates or people that you sell something to. You get 1% of anything that you sell that we offer, education, the real estate mastery course, etc. You get 1% of all the funding that anybody that you brought in receives. So if they get $100,000 in funding, you get cool $1,000 for making a phone call. And of course, you get 1% on any real estate deal that they close or you close. Then it continues down 5 levels deep on real estate for those that they bring in, those that they bring in, those that they bring in, percentages and percentages ongoingly. But because we've grown so much, and we're realizing that especially with the advent of so many stores that we're setting up and having set up and people that are getting funding and are doing e-commerce, we realized that we wanted to be much more generous to not only people who are setting up stores, but to all of our affiliates. And now there was no opportunity to get a benefit from setting somebody up with an e-commerce store, but now we've done that. So the first thing we've done is that if you bring in an affiliate, you get 10%, which is no small change if they pay everything up front. You still get 1% off the funding on all the funding. You still get the 1% on the real estate deals. All of this stays the same. You get all that downline passive real estate, but now you get 10% off of whatever we receive from setting up a store. Someone that you bring in sets up a store, you're going to get 10% of that from us, from whatever we receive. And you're going to get 0.25% on anything that the Shopify A volume deal gets on the volume of their store after they return their investment. What does that mean? That means that if somebody makes $30,000, I'm going to round about $10,000 a month, that means you're making, what is that? 10,000, 1% is 100. So you're making a simple $25. Is that right? 10,000, 1,000, 100. Yeah, you're making $25 a month on their $10,000 a month. And you're like, well, that's not very much. Well, first of all, that's money that you didn't make before. And if you had 10 of those, now you're making $250 a month, which of course is like $1,500 a year that you didn't have before. And depending on which Shopify deal that you had done in your affiliateship, you're making hundreds and hundreds of dollars on all of that. So we're very excited that being an affiliate now is a lot more lucrative, because a lot of folks join us because they want the funding, but they can't get their debt paid down to get a high enough FICO score. So this helps, especially on the real estate side. But anything here, as we build our team together, and we have trainings and videos to help you do that. And of course, Daz and I are here 100% to support you to build. You're going to build capital. And if you're wise and focused, you can put that capital to work paying down that debt so that you can get the funding. And this is sort of a, kind of an organization. I know it looks like multi-level marketing, but we're not marketing pyramid or anything like that. We're actually marketing opportunities, real estate, funding. These are real things. And some of you are on this call have received said funding. And it can be lucrative. Let me say this. Almost nothing that we're talking about has no work in it. I know it's a double negative, which means everything that we're talking about requires some amount of work. So if you're working 3 jobs and doing 90-hour weeks or 120-hour weeks, it's going to be difficult for you. You're going to have to make some choices. But those choices that you make to start disengaging from the system, well, that's the choices that you're going to make to be able to generate the wealth that's going to keep your family afloat and for you to create a legacy. There's no way to create a legacy working 120-hour weeks. I don't care how much money you're making. The more money you make, the more you spend. So let's talk about the requirements. They're very simple. We want you to be making $100,000 a month, which if you're doing it from strictly real estate, that's about $10 million, which, we're looking at some properties right now in Michigan, working with a vendor, which, could be in the millions. You got to be coachable. You can't tell us that you know better, because if you know better, well, then you should go do that. Really, please go do it. You got to understand that you're going to fail. Daz and I have failed doing this, believe me, lots of times. And we got to be able to understand that the success that we're looking for comes from the failure that we get, and that we've learned our lessons and can capitalize on those lessons. You either have a community already built in. I got a lot of people that want to do this. You're great at cold calling. Like, you just pick, I don't have any problem. I'll pick up and call anybody or text anybody or IM them from my Facebook or whatever. Or you're great at constructing teams, or all of the above, or any combination. Now, if you have any of these things, well, shoot, that's a benefit. That's a super awesome benefit, because this is what we're all about. You don't have to have them, because we're going to train you in these things. I don't think there's anybody who's been with us for any length of time that hasn't had a pretty strong uptick in their understanding of how all this works. And for Daz and I, we've spent an awful lot of our own money educating ourselves and getting experience, and in my case in particular with real estate, some of my own failures, learning how to be profitable and learning how to understand how to do this so that you don't have to. So our normal fees, the value, there's Freon. The values is about $3,500 of what we're offering. And we're going to give it to you. Basically, this is a one-time fee. Some people are like, oh, is that per year? Nope, just this. And then you have access to join us on this team and get working with us directly and be able to get your questions answered. The ultimate goal is you're building your own generational wealth. Any questions about this? And Daz, is there anything you want to hop on and say?
This is just to me, it's one of the easiest opportunities that is around, because people are always going to need funds. That's how the wealthy actually stay wealthy. They put their money to work. So the more capital that you can put in the hands of the people, the more people you can help get free. And I mean, so that's a no-brainer to me.
I know you talked, but I didn't actually hear anything that you just said. How tragic. But I saw that you came off mute and said, did you all hear her? If
Yes,
you
I
heard
heard her.
Daz, put a 1 in the chat box. Okay, great. Awesome. It's something on my end that I'll solve. So you can do this, or you can do this. 3 payments is $675. And start tonight. You connect with the person who brought you to this call. If you found it through some other means, just connect with Daz or I, and we'll get you that information. In fact, Daz might even put, if you haven't connected with someone before, you just kind of found us through an email or whatever, she might just put that into the chat. Anybody got any questions about anything? Cool. Let's talk about short-term cash flow. Here's that Shopify thing. We've set up now several of these with our vendor. And you've seen this slide before, which is pretty cool. Pretty exciting. The issue with it is that not everybody's going to be able to pull $70,000 from our funding, and we know that. Our average is around $45,000 to $50,000, and that's not for everybody. So the good thing about this is that if you did pull 70 or more, what a great way to make between $5,000 and $30,000 a month, and you don't have to do the work of the store. You just hand over the money. There's a guarantee that you'll get your $50,000 back in 8 months or less, and you're good. You're good to go. The Shopify B version, it's a different vendor. We love this one because now you don't have to make 70,000. You can be way below our established norm of 45 to 50, and that's not what the lenders allow. That's just because where people's credit kind of show up in the low 7s, high 6s, mid 7s, even depending on what's going on there. So this is where they show up, and unlike Shopify A version, it's a lot less. And there's an upfront cost, and then there's however much product you want to put in. You want to crank a lot of product in, a lot more money in, then great. You can make more money per month. It's also scalable, which I'm going to show you something about that's pretty cool. It's scalable. You can scale it up. The more product you put in, typically, the more money you make. It's pretty dope. This is a great example of how that works. So if you scaled up after about 12 months or so, you could be doing 3 to 4, maybe even 5,000 a month, which is a pretty good return on investment if you've dumped that 50,000 in. The Amazon store is great as well. Most of you are familiar with that. Just it's more money on the product side, less money on the upfront costs, but the same kind of income, really. Again, scalable. This is another example of it again, where you could be doing, if you scaled it right, and we would help you do that as well as our vendors would. You could be doing a nice low 5-figure a month on a pretty simple mid-range pull of our funding, and this doesn't cost you anything. There's Daz just put in the affiliate for emailing us if you're interested, when you're interested in being an affiliate. The Meta store, so we just set up one of these. The great thing about Meta is that you can compound. They pay you every day. So you can really build, again, with a good plan and not a lot of capital up front, below our median a good income. I mean, if you could do 4,000 to 6,000 a month, wouldn't that kind of change a few things for you? You're going to ROI in about 6 months. So let's take a look at just some simple financials, and then I'm going to hand this over. I might actually blow your mind, Marcus. I did some other numbers. Now you can show me if I'm wrong, and I'd be very happy to be wrong. But I might blow your mind on what projections for that dealership might be. But this is the Shopify A store. I'm not going to go into this a whole lot, but just to show you, let's say you got funded by us for that 70,000. Let's say you used all of it, because you're going to have to use it for fees and chargebacks, and 50,000 of it goes directly to our vendor, and then they start the fund. You're funded in January. You're founded your store in February. You've got your monthly payment. Now, this is the debt service. When I say debt service, how much it's going to cost you at 0% from our funding to you to pay it. Now, I've actually doubled this. This is not what it is. This is 2%. It's actually 1%, but I like to show worst kind of not a great scenario, just so you can see what a conservative look looks like from the Department of the Redundancy Department. So your income, like I said, you're going to, like I have shown before, you're going to be in the red for the first month. Just figure it. It's all right. You set it aside. We already planned for that. Then you're going to make your first monthly payment or your second monthly payment. You got your first income. And as the income continues to build, again, this is 0% you're paying on this debt. If you ROI in 8 months, return on that investment in 8 months, then, which is unlikely, probably much earlier, but let's say again, worst case scenario, 8 months, you get brought back whole to 50 grand. From September on, you're making money. And on average, they're talking about between $5,000 and $30,000 a month once you've returned your investment. So let's say it was $7,500 a month. Okay, $7,500 a month. Now, most everybody that's getting the $70,000 funding package, they're getting about 22 months. The lowest that we've seen is 18 months. Now, the lower the number you get, the lower the months. Sometimes there's as low as 12 months, but we've never, ever seen anybody with $70,000 get less than 18 months. So again, it's usually 22 months, but let's say it wasn't. Let's say you only had 18 months on your 0%. Okay, everybody with me? If you're with me, put a 1 in the chat box. If you're like, whoa, I'm so lost, put a 0 in the chat box. I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to map this out for your 18 months. Okay, I got ones, ones, no zeros. Okay, check it out. 18 months, 0%, no interest, y'all. You still have to make the payments, but it's 1%. That means $700 a month on this 70,000. You're making $7,500. After your initial 8 months, you will have paid this off, as long as all the money you receive, you put back against your debt. Everybody understand that? You didn't take it out and run to Tiffany's, and I don't mean Tiffany here with us on the call, but to the phone. You didn't go buy a boat. You were smart and reinvested to pay off that debt as quickly as possible. Everybody can. Tiffany's like, well, wait a minute, I want a boat. Let's say you paid. Let's say you were smart. You followed our plan. You paid it all down. Well, shoot. Now you have no debt service. You're debt free. It's $7,500 a month. You could do it again. You could borrow again. What do you mean borrow again? Well, guess what? Now you don't have the fees, because there's only that 10% fee for the funding when you get it front in the beginning. But then there ain't no more fees, just cashing it out, which is 3%. That's the $1,500. So now you need that $50,000. You already got money in the bank, so you don't need the extra $5,000. It's just $50 hard. You pull it out of your cards, you do it again. You're not debt free in 8 months. You're debt free in 4 months. Why? Because you got 2 stores banging away. Oh, somebody's starting to see some light bulbs, y'all. I can see it in the text thread. If you're getting some light bulbs, let's see some exclamation points. You're debt free in 4 months. That means you paid it off again. But 2 stores strong now. 2 stores strong. You can do it again. I like that, Freon. Good job. Where'd you find that icon? You're debt free in 4 months. It's a little less because now you're 3 stores strong. 3 stores strong. 3 stores. Yeah. 5 to 30,000 a month each on average. Let's say 7,500, the low end. That means in 16 months, y'all, you are debt-free 100%. That's your crank right now. Low end. Now, if I were to tell you at the beginning of this call, I can show you how to make $250,000 a year, and it wouldn't cost you $1, well, maybe the $1 to get your credit score, some of you wouldn't believe me. This is conservative. It's going to be more. But if you're smart, now not all of you are able to focus. Not all of you are going to follow the plan. You're going to get tempted. You're going to spend the money. You're going to put it into doodads. Don't do that. Stay focused. Can you stay focused for 16, 15 months so that you can generate this? Uncommon income is generated because people have uncommon discipline. Is that fair? If that makes sense to you, put a 3 in the chat box. The opportunity is not enough. We've been talking about this, for 3 months, 2 months? It's knowing what to do and stay with the plan. Okay, here's the other one. Now, some of you are like, yeah, but there's no way I can qualify for $70,000. Got it. Totally get it. Let's talk about the Metastore. Metastore is a lot less than 30. Haha, Marcus, I like that. You're going for pie there. All right, let's again say you only got 18 months, 0%. And by the way, and it means it doesn't mean you can't do it after 18 months. It's just 10% now. You could keep doing this as long as, obviously Shopify made any sense to do it, but you could also expand. All right, 18 months, 0%. Return now in 6 months is what we talked about with the Metastore because it's daily compounding if you stayed focused. So after 18 months, you're out of debt, you're making $4,000, give or take the low end per month. What can you do now? Well, you pulled 40,000-ish. We'll say 40,000 is where you had it. That's our average. That's our mean. Most of y'all we're going to get somewhere higher than this, but that's about it. You could add $40,000 to your inventory, not add a new store. You don't need to do that in this case. Scalable. Add $40,000. You had 10,000 in inventory before. Now you've added 40,000. You return on investment in 6 months. Why? Because you 4x'd your inventory. And you can do it again. Now you're going to return on investment in 1.5 months. You do it again. Return in the same month. Do it again. Return. You don't even hit the payment. You pay it off before they even send you an invoice, y'all. Well, where does this leave us? Remember, you're below average on our funding now. Below average, not 70,000. This is where you at. You put $170,000 into inventory in 11 months. You got 6 months to go on your credit, by the way. You're generating $60K. Low end. Now, if I were to tell you, listen, all you need to do is have a 725 credit that was clean. You could get $40,000 and do this in 12 months. You'll pull in $60K. Would you believe me? Some of you would. That's why you're on this call. Some of you hope. Now, Marcus is getting nervous. He's like, well, wait a minute. Why does anybody want a dealership if they can do this? Well, watch this, Marcus. I ran these just for you. Now, this is our old number. You guys have seen this before. Running Turo, working with Bank of America, 4 cars. For those of you who have the 650 that was the minimum, you're like, man, I can't get but 12 grand. Got it. No sweat. No problem. Seriously. Because you're going to get 12 months at 0%. You're not going to get 18 months. I will just tell you that straight. I won't be. You're like, what can I do with that? I can't even do that Shopify compounding. Well, no, you could, but you're not going to get that kind of money. But for you Turo folks, check this. You could start with Turo and you're already doing $4,000 a month. You're ROIing in 40 days. Yep. So this is a great way to go for those of you. Look, I'm going to rent. I'm here in California at my parents' place. I don't have a car. My truck's in Tennessee. This is my second Turo rental. I'm renting a Tesla tomorrow. I'm driving out to see Jamar, and we're having a little get-together, a bunch of us from DCG. It's so easy, y'all. Now I'm a user. It's so easy. But this we've seen. Now let me show you the dealership. Now, Marcus, you can go, dude, you wrong. But let me just run these numbers, and you can tell me if I'm wrong about this. So, let's say again, this is our average. You pulled 50,000. You have a 750, 780 credit, something like that. You do the churro deal. That means you first thing you do is I'm going to hook up with Dazzle. Dazzle and our affiliates are going to show us how to do the three-way thing that she's, in fact. Well, Daz, you want to hit them with how you do this again? Because I can't really explain it. Just so everybody can see the churro part. Dazzle, you there? Dazzle, you there?
There we go.
Yeah, that's the get out of rat race. Yep. Sorry, go ahead.
There we go. So when it comes to the Turo, there's multiple ways that you can monetize just on one vehicle. Like the quad method, being able to have a daily driver in it for like the gig economy, DoorDash, different things like that, as well as being able to monetize the panels to local businesses on for a monthly fee to be able to advertise. Can you hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? Okay. This is like one of the easiest ways to monetize the smart card method, because you can get a smart card for like 5,000 straight, and then just having a couple of them, like I said, you're able to monetize each one for four ways. You have the right side, the left side, and you have the rear.
All right, I'm hearing on a delay now. Sorry, I don't know why my computer does not want to make any audio happen, but I can hear you on a delay. Phew. Yes. So you all get how that works. And listen, it gives you an unfair competitive advantage because this will be my second churro car. That first churro car that I rented when I got here, took a little drive to San Diego for some of our real estate opportunities. There was nothing on the side. And he was renting it to me. I'm just like a one-day rental. And I will tell you this, that guy had just bought that car. It was a used car. I know he got it from a used car lot or an auction. He had two other cars. None of them were the ones that he drives. They're just strictly for churro. He's doing this business. Now, he's doing it wrong because he should have gotten it to DoorDash. He should have put the doors on the side. The guy that I'm renting it from, this Tesla tomorrow, doing it wrong. I promise you there's nothing on the sides of that Tesla. And he's got the same thing. He's got a bunch of cars hoping he can make money. Doing it wrong. He's going to be a story of how not to do it. But let's say you did this and you did it right. You're making money. You get more. If you were with us, you got our average. So you're making that $4,000 a month. It's around $2,000 or $10,000 outlay. Now you're going to connect with Marcus. You're going to get your dealership up and running at $15K. So he was talking about last week, or 2 weeks ago rather. Let's say we add another $5,000 in fees and things, and there's probably, you got to have insurance and all that kind of stuff. I'm making these numbers up. But check this out. With the money you got left, again, not a dime out of your pocket. If you bought two cars for $10,000, are they great cars? Yeah, they're great. They got them at an auction. Marcus helped you get them. Are they like Lamborghinis? No. But if you flipped them at 20% retail, you did 4 of them a month. That means you used your money twice. That's a $16,000 profit for the first month, plus your churro is $20K. Everybody with me so far on how this math was? You just cranked $20K on month 1. Now, are you in debt? Oh, yeah. Who cares? 0%. Everybody with me? Put a 5 in the chat box if you're with me on this math, because it's going to get hefty from here. Nobody gets it. Okay, Jason, Breon, Dazzle. Check this. We do it again! I got 40,000. I can buy more cars. I can flip more. I can do more with my churro. I can do this. Next month, we do it again. I got 76,000. I can do 6 of them, a little more expensive cars. I can flip at 12 a month, 30,000 in income plus my churro. I do it again. Now I'm 4 months in, Guess what? I got 150,000 in cash. What? Yep. Now what can I do? I can keep going. That's what a lot of you all would do, and that's great. Or do I have a business that is cash flowing and it has now 4 months established business income? I got a 6-figure company, y'all. Well, what's the first thing I do? Well, it's 6 figures, except I got a $50,000 debt. Well, while you could keep going, you got what, 8 more months on that debt before it starts being 10%. You could keep it and keep going, and of course, pay it off later. Or I could pay it off now. Now, if you were going to keep going, I would say don't pay it off now. Hold it. It's you paid for it, right? You paid 10% to have 0% for whatever it is, 12, 22 months, whatever. But if you were like, you know what, I got bigger plans, or I'm going to double down. Now you got $100 left. Sell it. Now, how many of you know how you evaluate a business? You evaluate a business based on how much its current assets are, less its liabilities, plus plus the income of 6 months. I'm making it really rough, y'all. 6 months. So that means if I sold this for $250,000, I could probably do that within 8-9 months of being in business, especially if I had a proven manual that showed everybody how to do it. Anybody know what the website is that we would do this on? Dazzle knows. What's the website that we have talked about over and over and over that you could sell this business, upon which you could sell this business? Not just this business, any business. Boom. Flippa. Now, with $350,000, y'all, guess what? You could go to a different city and do it again. But now you got $350K. You don't want to be in competition with your guy. There'll be a non-compete clause in there, so you can't do it in his or her city that you sold your business to. You go to a different city, who cares? Or you could do real estate, or you can do whatever. Is anybody getting their heads blown off about how this could go? How any of these things could go? Depending on your plan. Boom. So from here, I'm going to hand this over to Marcus, who's going to give us some more thing. Now, Marcus, you can tell me if I'm wrong on my math here.
Definitely not wrong. Maybe a tad bit low, but again,
that's what I was hoping you was going to say.
Very, very, very modest. All right, so I'll give you a quick example. I just talked to a client, a potential client, right before we get into this presentation. Daz can be a witness to this. He said that he knows a guy that works at a dealership, and he cleared $300,000 this year.
Amazing.
You breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, it's not better. You're kind of in sell bad place. And we lost him. Well, hey, Daz, how about while we wait for him to hop back on, just run everybody through like funding.
So of course you gotta have some capital to be able to take care of take advantage of these opportunities. And it's really easy as far as our funding process. I don't know if you guys have been through the funding process traditionally, but they usually want everything but your firstborn in order to get funding. But with us, that's not necessary. You just need to have a FICO score of a 685 or better. You need to have a business bank account and an EIN number, and you need to have, corporate clean credit. But you are going to go to the3scores.com, and from there you're gonna download your PDF of your FICO report. That FICO report you're going to email to funding@legacyascending.com. In the body of that email, you're going to put your name, your address, phone number, last four of your social, as well as who invited you to Legacy Ascending. And from there, we're able to get you an answer in as little as 72 hours. But a lot of times it's like same day. And that's it. Like, you don't have to have any financials or any of that. You'll just have to do your ID. And that's what makes us different.
All right, I'm sorry, you guys. Bad connection. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, great. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Connection went real bad. I think I'm in a great spot now. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We got
So yeah, I mean, I was just explaining, just a quick example on how lucrative the car industry is. It has been a little bit shaky on the manufacturing as far as new cars for the last year or two. But as far as used cars, the profit margin has gotten even greater since then. So one side of the game is pretty, the other side makes up for that. But, of course, the manufacturer, the new car side is going to pick up a lot more very, very soon as well. I see we have a quick example here. So I'm going to actually share my screen.
Go ahead.
Start now. Go over here. All right. So we have a couple different ways that you can get involved with us on the dealership opportunity. So we have first broker services, right? So with the broker services, that involves you coming to me specifically to purchase a car, right? So with that comes a step-by-step budget evaluation. We have a date selection, meaning that we want to kind of be in a range where you want to actually go ahead and purchase the car. With the auctions, we have some kind of insight on what's going on right now. I mean, a whole lot of insight on what's going on right now and some insight of what will be going on in the future. So I kind of like to get a date selection, and I kind of like to start doing my 1-2 before that date, so I can have a bunch of different options for you. All right. So then we're gonna go into again the car, truck, etc. evaluation. We want to know what type of vehicle you want. We want to look at everything as far as maintenance with the vehicle. Just gauge everything about the specific vehicle that you want to purchase. All right. Then we will go into actually selecting what auction we want to concentrate on. And that kind of narrows it down. Of course, we're gonna look at a bunch of different auctions, but then once we look at those auctions, we look at that type of car that you want, we'll be able to know, okay, we want to go with Manheim instead of Odessa. We want to go, with a local auction instead of an online auction. So things of that nature. All right. After that, we can go ahead and wire or upload funds, and then the buy-in process begins. Okay. We have a shipping service, so we can do in-state and out-of-state. Of course, the shipping service is an extra cost, but it is available both through the auctioneer and through us as a personal service. Okay. So the next thing you have access to is leverage me as a broker and earn dollars. We do have more brokers coming next year, so it won't just be me working, but for now it's just me. So you can leverage me and earn dollars. How do you do that? There's ways that you can earn with us, right? So you can earn $1,500 on your first 3 clients. Okay, so say you have 3 people that want to buy cars, right? So you refer them to me, you're leveraging me as a broker, and you earn $500 per client, right? After that, you earn $250 each client after. Okay. What are you doing besides selling cars with us? Leveraging me means that you're gonna also leverage my knowledge, right? And others as well, because it's not all my knowledge. I've learned some things. I've also learned some things from others. So we're gonna do marketing techniques on how to sell cars, right? And then we also have marketing strategies on how to like do the Turo, things of that nature. So you'll be learning how to earn not only just by selling cars, but also different mediums that you can use to earn money off your vehicles. So most importantly, you'll be learning how to market and sell your cars, right? So then you can actually become a broker, right? So now you don't have to leverage me. You are the person with the leverage now, right? So you get a broker's license, you get full auction access. You also still get the mentorship on how to sell your cars, how to properly purchase your cars from an auction. That you also get that too when you leverage me as a broker. So I want to slide back to that screen as well. So you can have a auction license, or excuse me, a broker license, or you can leverage me as a broker. But if you don't know actually how to go through the process in the auctions, you don't know these different terms, which really is the most important thing. The linguistics is the most important thing. So once you learn these different terms, then you can actually see what's going on, right? So you learn how to properly purchase your car from the auction, right? You don't want to purchase a car and you think you have all the facts, but you don't have all the facts about that car, right? So when you're a broker, or when you're leveraging me as a broker, or when you're a dealer, you get access to everything you can know, from the littlest dent to the biggest problem about this car before you purchase it. So you need to know just these, different terms and different words that they use and the definitions to them in order to properly purchase your car. All right, so let's get back to it. Again, you get the access to the auto transport services that we have. You have unlimited temp tags, which is important. Some states don't offer that, some states do. That's tailored towards the specific individual when they want to become a broker. Set your own broker fee, right? So that means like I charge maybe $500 for my broker fee minimum, but you get to charge whatever you want to charge. So if you know somebody or you run into someone that wants to purchase a car, you can actually do what I do now and do a whole consultation, get them their car, charge a $500 flat fee or whatever you want to charge, and that's your services. Also, you get to sell your automobiles at your price for profits, right? So not only do you get to get cars for clients, you can buy your own cars and sell them as well now that you're a broker, right? Okay, so the biggest service that we offer is the full dealership automation. We start your very own dealership from beginning to finish, paperwork and all, right? So we'll run your dealership remotely. We do everything to get your dealership up and running properly. It's a lifetime mentorship, meaning that we don't only get your dealership up and running and just leave you to the wolves to make your money however you're gonna make it. No, we back it up with full mentorship. Any questions you may have, we answer them. Any problems you may have, we try to correct them. All right. So then at a full dealership, now you get to register your own brokers, right? So now you can put people in position, give them some type of responsibility, and expand on your business. So if I'm just selling cars by myself, I'm not gonna make as much profit as if me, Daz, and 3 other people are selling cars all under one umbrella. Pretty sure we all get that idea, right? Gonna learn how to finance. So most dealerships have a finance department. Some of them don't, but we teach you how to open your finance department and run it properly as well. Okay. And then you have access to our crowdfunding system. So what we're doing is we're coming together and we're trying to build a conglomerate. We want to have a crowdfunding service to where we all put in and we select the car, we buy it, and we put it to work. Either we sell it and flip it, or we put it on Turo, or whatever it is we may decide to do. It might be a boat, it might be a big yacht that we all go in on, and we rent the yacht. Never know. Okay. So you also get full access to the dealership marketing courses and strategies as well. Right. So that's the number. That's the biggest package, right? I know you guys like, okay. How much does this all cost? I'm gonna get into that in a moment. I'm gonna flip back and let's talk about how much profit we can make off of.
Well, before you jump in, let me ask you this.
Okay.
If you go back to like the big package, because when I see this, I'm a pretty smart guy. I look at, man, how much paperwork is this? How much, like, I don't know. And I know you're gonna, in the other packages, you're gonna mentor me through it. I'm gonna figure it out and you won't let me fail. But I still got to do an awful lot of figuring and learning. But should I understand that this package right here, the full dealership automation, like you're gonna set it up with me?
Correct.
For me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do everything for you. Only thing you would have to do is say maybe you want to start your dealership in with the EIN number instead of your personal social security number. We could do it for you. A lot of people already have that knowledge, but if you don't have that knowledge, you can't come to us with an EIN. We'll get one for you. But that'll be the only thing. If you wanted to come with your own EIN number, that'll be great. And that's about it. You know, we do everything else for you once we get all that.
That's great. I happen to know some good guys that'll help you with the EIN part.
Exactly. Me too.
All right.
too.
So this is like turnkey.
Definitely. That's why we kind of call it a dealership automation. I run my dealership remotely. So it's not a difficult thing to do. It's pretty easy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Now, so we can pretty much start from this, right? So if you was leveraging me as a broker, I just said that you could earn $1,500 on your first 3 clients, right? So that's kind of me. It's a reward thing, right? So we're not talking about actually selling those cars for profit. What we're gonna do is we're charging a flat rate for our services, and we're trying to get our client the best deal possible. So when I say I'm gonna do a budget evaluation, I want to know, okay, so this client has $10,000 that they want to spend on the car. My goal is to get that car for $9,500 or less, max 95. Because guess what? You already gave me $500. I want to try to make that come out of the car, right? So instead of me, saying, "Oh, this car is going to be $10,500 going over budget," my goal is to stay as far under budget as I can possibly can. So we're not really trying to sell cars for profit at this level, as far as the leveraging me as a broker. Because me personally, I'm not going to be trying to profit off the sale of the car. I just want to take that flat rate and do my services the best way possible. That way I keep a bunch of happy clients and we're all good, right? Also, I want to expose the dealership industry, because a lot of people have been getting screwed over by dealerships for a very, 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 very long time. All right, so we have the inside scoop now. Let's bring the public in and show everybody what's going on. Now, when you become a full broker, that's when you're gonna concentrate on flipping cars, right? So now you have one source of income where you can charge your own broker fee, leveraging, and you can purchase your own cars and sell them for profit. You can also put them on Turo, and there are other ways that you can profit from vehicles. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that. If you don't get with us, we'll teach you. All right. Now, on average, me personally, this is different for each dealership and each broker. All right. So me personally, when I'm looking to flip a car, I'm looking to make no less than $500 profit. At the minimum, if I can't make $500 off this car, I'm not buying. And if I'm making $500 only off that car, that means that I'm going to be able to sell that car just as fast as I buy it, because it's time over money with me. So I don't like to spend a lot of time trying to make money. All right, so $500 minimum, that's pretty low, right? Like it's very, very easy to flip a car if you're only trying to make $500, right? Now, it ranges, of course. You can make, $1,500 off a car. You can make $3,000 off a car. That just depends on the type of car that you buy and the type of client that you have. There is an unlimited amount of profits in the car industry. Everybody needs a car. Everybody wants a car. I'm not going to say everybody. Let me correct myself. Most people need cars. Most people want cars, right? Not only that, trucks, boats, motorcycles, Can-Ams, slingshots. We have access to it all, right? So there's plenty of profit. You guys won't have to worry about ROI over here. Your return on investment will definitely be secured. Even if you spend, let's say you spend $20,000 to get your business up and running, $30,000 to get your business up and running. I can guarantee if you work hard, you will be able to make that money back in less than 90 days. I promise you that. Got to work hard, but you also have a team of individuals that's making that process smooth. Okay? So now that I said that, anybody have any questions for me?
Just hop off mute.
So what's the minimum investment for the auto brokerage? Hi.
To become an auto broker?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into that. I didn't know the first question was going to be that, but that was a great question. All right, so we'll get into the fees. All right, so the minimum for my services to just actually purchase a car, I charge $500 flat rate. That's for everybody that's in Legacy Ascending. That's you guys' rate only, right? Because I could charge a whole lot more, but I don't because of the team we've put together, right? Now, if you want to leverage me as a broker, that fee is a one-time fee of $1,400. That's why I say you can make your money back in your first 3 clients, right? So your first 3 clients, you make $500 minimum, 500, 500, 500, that's 15. That covers your one-time fee and profit you $100 on your first 3 clients, right? Now, to become your own broker under our dealership, that is a $4,000 fee, right? How fast can you make that money back? As fast as you want to, trust me. All right, now to get your own full dealership up and running, that fee, go ahead, I'm sorry. Was there a question coming in or?
Go ahead.
All right, so the full dealership, let's get your dealership up and running, lifetime mentorship, everything else that's coming along in the future, $15,000 fee for that. All right, how fast can you make your money back off that? As fast as you want to. I mean, if you can fund it through Legacy, you also have investment capital to go ahead and buy your car and flip them, right? So say, for instance, you pay $15,000 to get your dealership up and running, and you want to put, let's say, another $15,000 towards buying cars. All right, so let's say we take the $15,000, break it down, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, right? The minimum that we're gonna shoot for on those cars is about $3,000 profit. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12. You right at that 15,000. Your first 3 cars. Let's do another one. Now you're in the green, right? And it could go a lot better than that, but that will be the minimum that we would shoot for if you want to make, your profit back.
And by the way, folks, those numbers I showed you earlier was a 20% profit margin. He's talking 40% profit margin.
Indeed. And it always fluctuates. In this industry, it just depends on your product and the client, right? I know if everyone's purchased a car, either from a dealership or a private owner. It always, it's a variation. Just depends on the type of car, type of client that you have. But you always go into the deal knowing what profit you want to make, how low you want to go, or how high you want to go, right? So it's pretty easy to kind of determine whether or not you're going to actually make money off the car. You know
And
what I
Tiffany,
mean?
let me say this too. We announced this last time, but it goes without saying that it's $15,000 for the full dealership. But if you're a Legacy Ascending affiliate, it's less.
Indeed.
Got it.
In fact, you make $1,000 on the deal, just so you know.
So let's do something special here tonight. So this is Manheim.com. This is one of the private auctions that dealers have access to and brokers as well. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna log in and we're gonna do a very, very, very quick example, right? Okay, let's see. What's today? December 1st. We're just gonna search, right? Let's say smart car. I don't know if this is gonna come up. Well, no, let's not do that. Here we go, right? All right. We're gonna go. Let's go to Texas since they have 10. Okay. Go back. Sorry about that.
There they are.
Okay, so we're in Texas. We're just gonna do a quick look, right? 2008 smart car, 4.2 pure, right? So let's look at this car. All right, so as you can see, right off the bat, they're giving us the VIN number, right? So we have tools that we plug this VIN number into, and we can kind of get more of a gauge on the car as well, as far as selling the car, right? But if we want to know about this car specifically, this is all we need right here in front of us. All right, so we have no frame damage. It has been painted. It says prior paint, yes, right? So that means that it's been painted, okay? So this starts in 4 days, 13 hours, and 28 minutes. So this auction, this car is not even actually up for sale just yet. It starts 12:06, 10:30 a.m. Okay, so they're giving us, where's the location. Boom, find that auction. Who's the seller? They're showing us the seller. They're even showing us how many searches, how many times this car has been viewed, right? So we scroll down. It's 2 owners, no accidents. Some things about the title and the odometer that we should look at. Because you see these red, that lets us know that we need to look at that, right? Announcements, not actual miles, and it drives, right? So meaning that the 83,822 miles, that's not original mileage, meaning that maybe the engine's been switched out, Okay, so we getting all this, getting all this, getting all this. This is just all information about the car. Here's, some shipping stuff. Say you wanted to get it shipped from Texas to Georgia, you can find out here, right? Now, let's look at what they call the adjusted MMR. You'll learn what MMR means when you get some.
It doesn't
training.
mean the mastermind report, y'all, just so you know.
All right, so base MMR, right? That's just pretty much, this is telling us how much on average we should be purchasing this car for compared to other dealers and, just a bunch of research, right? This is the typical range that we should look for as a dealer or a broker, not retail. This is what we should be paying for this car, right? No more than $2,300, typical range, right? While looking at the mileage, the condition report is a 1.6, which is not great. Okay. So this is just an adjustment. This is showing you the average on, what this car should be purchased at as a dealer. This here is all the transactions from when this car was manufactured until now. All right. Now this is the estimated retail value on that. Right? So say we paid the full max of the adjusted MMR. Let's say we even went up to $2,000. Typical range, low end, very low, quick flip in, $4,850. Pay $2,000, you make $4,850. The high range would be $7,500. That's if you want to screw somebody else. Right? Me personally, I wouldn't do that, but some people will. The profit is there. So yeah, that's just a real quick version. And that's, like we said, if you want to just sell the car. Smart cars, we're using those to put on the road. We're using those to make residual income off over and over again. You make more profit over time than you do trying to, what did I say? Did I say Turo?
No, I just said Turo.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So we'll put that on Turo. The smart cars are what we look for, and we try to make money longevity-wise on that.
Amazing. You guys see that? You guys see we didn't rehearse this. He's pulling this out of the real market at real time, and you can see real profit right here. And the absence of Marcus means you got screwed trying to do this. But Marcus just gave you at least $5,000 worth of value, just showing you that, right? If you guys got value, put a 6 in the chat box. You can see, so you can see that you got value out of this. There we go. Lots and lots of folks got value. And, you can also see that he's worth, his weight in gold. He just made you $5,000 in profit. Oh, well, that's fair. To be fair, $2,500 in profit. That's a $2,500 moment right there. If you could get the price, get the car for the right price. So,
yeah, I mean, like I said, that's the low end of it too. So that's saving you a lot of time on waiting till somebody pays you, more profit. It's key to, get your profit and move to the next vehicle, right? Because in this game, you're going to want to sell a lot of cars. You're not going to want to be sitting on cars trying to maximize profit.
yeah.
You're going to run across some gems. You're going to run across some cars where you pay $500 for a car, and on average low end, it's selling for $3,000. Why? Because you was at an auction at the right time, and nobody else wanted that car at that time. See what I mean? So it's so many different options to where sometimes you'll get a headache and just trying to figure out what's the best move right now. So you might look at one car like, oh my God, I can make $5,000 off this car. Okay, you might look at the next car like, oh my God, I can make $7,000 off this. So it's just, being at the right time in the right place. It's more cars on the market than there are buyers. Trust me, believe.
Well, this is awesome. I really appreciate all that you brought in the last 3 weeks. Just incredible. So, and again, y'all, this number, I made that really conservative. He's like, no, you could sell that for a lot more. And in these examples, I'm doing 20%. He's talking 40, 50% retail price. So, get in
So yeah,
touch.
definitely on average, I mean, that 40-50% is gonna be the low end, guys. Really. I mean, if you think about it, like I just showed you, I mean, that's the low end. And that car will sell more than the low end, real easy. Most dealerships are not even gonna even think about selling that car for that price. They're gonna go up a couple more thousand.
Right. Well, folks, we're over time, so I appreciate your extra time. It all begins with funding. It all begins with a plan. So apply, apply, apply. If you know your credit's not great, talk to us, reach out, so that we can make a plan with you as to what we can do, what can be done. And, oh, my camera's not on. No wonder I can't see myself. There's Dazzle just put in, if you're ready to be an affiliate, ready to join us. I'm telling you, if you want the full dealership, I'm not going to tell you all what the price is out here, but being an affiliate saves you money. actually saves you money. So, and you get to be an affiliate with us, and anybody who brings funding in, you get a percentage of that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Anybody else? Last questions going once?
I have a question, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
In the way of funding, I do have an LLC.
Mhm.
It is based on my DUNS number, or will you actually pull my personal credit as a hard pull in that regard? My business is multifaceted. It's not a niche or anything like that where I'm saying that, my business is solely real estate or Toro in that regard. So does that make a difference? Because I have a very few trade lines, even though I've established a business. This is going on my second year. So,
Well, one of the things, if you have a dunce number with an 80 paid X or higher, we should talk about that as in our level 2 funding. We don't typically talk about that here because most people don't have that. They don't even know what a paid X score is, which is fine. But you probably would qualify for level 2 with us. But level 1, which is what we've been talking about, that's what we have here on the slide. It's a soft pull of your credit. It doesn't affect your credit. That's the 3scores.com. And it doesn't matter what your business is, because unless our lender says, yes, you're approved for, I'm making it up, 40 to 80,000, then it doesn't really matter, because they're just going to go on your credit score, your personal FICO. It is a soft pull. What happens then is, once you're approved for a number, we'll meet with you, Daz will meet with you, and we'll go over a plan, because you'll have an interview with the lender over the phone. Very quick interview, but it's, I don't think we've had anybody get less than the top that they've offered, because we know how to show you how to do that interview. If you accept their offer, whatever the number is, it's then it will be some hard pulls on your credit, as the lenders that you get your cards from will then pull your credit, if that makes sense.
yes, it does. And then that would be able to revert to any one of the plans. If I get 30,000, will I be able to put the 15 on the dealership?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can. There's the ridiculous. The part that makes it feel like this is too good to be true is that they don't care what you do with the money once you get it, as long as you keep paying them. They don't care. They're not going to check. There's no review. There's no financials that you have to ever submit at any point. So it's kind of awesome. And I'll tell you this little secret: they expect you're making 80,000. If you don't say. If you do make more, you tell them. That helps them. They'll actually up it. But the default is 80. And if they never ask you, which they won't, then if you make 20,000 a year, they'll expect you make 80. It's a wild time. Wild time. But we probably should talk also about maybe leveraging your business if you already have a Paydex score, because we have vendors that do that as well.
Okay, great. Thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you. Any other questions? Going twice. Hop off mute. All right. Very special thanks to Marcus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Daz for joining us, for being with us, all of us together. Reach out. You can apply tonight. We'll get it in tomorrow. You'll probably have an answer tomorrow, but for sure by Tuesday. If you were ready for your affiliateship, put that email in affiliates with it's singular, affiliate at legacyascending.com. It's in the chat. Say, hey, I want to know more, and Daz and I will give you a shout back. You're welcome, Vanessa. Thank you. And Sam, thank you very much. All right, y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you next time.
Blessings.
Blessings,
Everyone have a
everybody.
good night. Blessings, blessings.
Thank you.
Good evening. Have a good evening.
But if you get a chance, send me that recording. I got some people I want to send it to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'll go up on our YouTube channel.
Okay, Legacy Ascending YouTube.
That's the one.
Gotcha.
All right, y'all. I got to hop on a different call. So you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So I got a call with Jerry, y'all. Thank y'all. Hold on a second, Jerry. All right, Jerry. Just us chickens now.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry about that
All right.
delay. We
No,
just,
don't worry.
maybe you learned something.
I know. I think I came in the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
I feel like I missed a good session. Is that recorded?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a
Okay,
killer.
good.
Killer
Yes.
session, actually. We just 10x'd your revenue on affiliates if you bring affiliate in. So that's one of the cool things. We also did all the financials on the Shopify store, like extended out. So you really want to watch that.
Okay, good. All right. I may have to change. I'm just. Yeah, it's been a crazy day. Trying to move things all around. So I'm gonna change Wi-Fi in like 5 minutes.
Well, that's fine.
I'm on the road with my laptop,
Okay.
so I can record the session.
All right.
When I get in the house, I'm going to change Wi-Fi and get on the house Wi-Fi. So I might come off and then come back on.
Yeah, it'll still keep recording. It's pretty wild how that works.
Oh, okay.
It should, even if you hop off, as long as I stay on and I ain't going anywhere.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so I can start with. Oh, is this recording or do you get on?
Not yet. Microsoft Word does not want to open. I hate that. Hold on, before you do that, I may have to reboot my computer. What is happening? Microsoft Word, please boot. All right, hold on. Just one too many apps open. Let's try it one more time here. There we go. Good boy. And you're recording now?
I mean, I still see the recording button, but I didn't press the recording button.
Didn't you?
No.
Oh, that's weird.